Good afternoon. Today is November 20th, 2024, and this is the meeting of the Municipal Facilities Optimization Committee. We have a quorum, and this meeting is called to order. First on the agenda, we have the minutes from November 13th, 2024, just a week ago. It seems longer than that for some reason. Any questions or comments on the minutes? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the meeting minutes from November 13th, 2024. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted unanimously. Next, we have one bill to pay this week. Helene Carl Architects for programming, concept design, and reimbursable expenses. $175,725. Any comments or questions on that bill?
Motion to approve?
And that's the full balance?
Just full balance.
That's the full balance, okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second to pay the bill as previously stated. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So voted unanimously. And next we're up to our update from the owner's project manager. Steve, you're up.
Sure. So since the town meeting vote went through, we've been getting the contract documents for the OPM and the designer, getting those tidied up and submitted. So that's been the activity since our last meeting.
And both, so the designer contract has been sent to town council. We received comments back from him today, and Vertex is implementing those into that contract. And I believe we've received we have not received the amendment from Vertex yet for their for this
Phase two.
next phase.
Yeah.
And once we will, we'll share that with town council for review. And we get that back.
Okay. Very good. Any questions for Steve? No? All right, thanks, Steve. Item number 5, review and discuss the special town meeting. Well, I'll start. I was
Just like on Monday.
I was very pleased with the response from town meeting. Thought the questions were good, they were appropriate. But in the end, I think, town meeting was with us, and the vote was certainly in favor of doing what we think needs to be done. And so I thank them for that. Thank you, town meeting. It was nice to get that feedback from you.
I would agree. I think the presentation was crisp and people understood the need, right? It's very well documented.
Mhm.
I think we did a good job of addressing why we would want to combine the town hall part with the DPW South Street part, that there's a connection between the two of them, right? And I know prior to town meeting, I'd gotten some questions about, well, we haven't really seen the town hall portion being a part of the discussion. And I just explained to people was, the push of this committee was to get those drawings for the DPW so that town meeting could have something visual to see. And there's less to see when you're talking about replacing an HVAC system,
Mhm.
doing asbestos mitigation, doing, sprinklers, like those kinds of things. We're not changing town hall in a way that you're going to need plans for it.
I'm very happy, saying that great. Now it's on to the meat and the potatoes and get it going.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, certainly appreciative of everybody in this room for all their help getting us there. It was a lot to prep, and I think we've done a good job generally letting the community know what we're doing, what the work really is, through our other meetings. And I was pleased with I think the questions that were asked to us by town meeting members were super important. And I think we did a good job, and I'm glad we got the vote, but much more work to go now.
It's actually nice to have such an informed and town meeting members, and who did their homework, knew what questions to ask and what the important ones were, and we were able to address those. So it's nice to have that, because from what I've heard from other town meetings, it's not always that way. So
And I think another important thing too is, David and Kevin and Alex developed a really good financial plan and model for this.
They
I
did.
mean, they've been working with us all along and just, behind the scenes, and, I think they came up with a great plan to have the least possible impact on residents with their tax bills or utility bills or anything like that. So I think it's important to note that team put that work together.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you think we could do more tours at some point?
Sure.
'Cause I know
Yeah.
that there were several town meeting members who said they didn't get a chance
Mm-hmm.
to go on the tour, so.
Yeah, I think we certainly can. We just have to understand the time of the year right now.
It's cold?
Oh,
they're busy.
well,
Which one?
Winter ops is
Yeah.
gonna begin soon, right? So, I think we just have to, I think we can put them in place. We just have to be, to warn residents they could be canceled, because if winter ops are ongoing, then we can't have a tour in those buildings.
Mhm.
So.
That's true.
So I think we'll just have to be a little bit strategic and work on, and figure out how to message that.
And the video tour, I assume, is still up on
Still up.
SMC, so maybe we can get some communications out around.
It's
that.
actually right on our webpage too. We have it right there with
Yeah.
all our information. It's there.
Excellent. Anything else? Well, thank you, everybody. Phase 1 complete now. Lots of work
Mhm.
going forward to get to our next deadline. Let's see. Item number 6. Review and act to authorize the town manager to negotiate and enter into an agreement with the architect designer. So that is pretty much what it is.
Yep. So, and like I said, that's ongoing. We've received comments from town council. We'll share that with the designer. And then if with this vote, that'll allow us to negotiate with them and the manager to execute contract.
And I assume they'll be able to ramp up and be ready to go right away.
That's
So
our understanding from them. Yeah.
Excellent.
And this contract takes us through,
Takes us through 60% design and gets us to town meeting vote.
So through middle of May sometime, I guess.
so regardless of whether there's a special town meeting or annual town meeting, or like, what are you thinking, like the special town meeting?
Special town meeting would be,
Okay,
because we need them to get us to a point where we can present.
right, because our plan is still to have this on the May ballot.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And we have to
Okay, yeah.
have town meeting 35 days prior to that
Got it.
to get it on the ballot.
Okay.
Okay.
And assuming we get through phase 2 and we move on to phase 3, there's an amendment for
Correct.
both Vertex
Correct.
and the
We
designer.
we would have a similar vote at that point when we have full funding to create an amendment for construction phase of the
Okay.
project. And that would be both, and I know it's the next on the agenda, but that would be both for designer and OPM and construction manager at that point.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Anything else?
Will we be seeing the architect at one of the meetings?
Yeah, so I think that
then-
was a discussion. I think we are not there yet, but when we discuss the next meeting, I would think we would want to have them in front of us for introduction and that sort of thing.
Let's see where we're at.
Yep, correct. Yep.
Good. All right, do we have a motion to authorize the town manager to negotiate and enter into an agreement with the architect designer?
Motion to approve?
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to authorize the town manager to negotiate and enter into an agreement with the architect designer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted unanimously. Item number 7, other business?
Yeah.
There
No.
was 2.
The other,
Oh, I'm on the wrong one, sorry.
Yeah, we gotta do the next one, item 7.
All right, item number 7. Review and act to authorize the town manager to negotiate and enter into an agreement with the owner's project manager for Phase 2 services. Sorry about that, Steve. As we had just discussed that.
yep, same process. They have the designer.
Okay. You'd like to get paid then, I assume. It's
Absolutely.
Like to
Yeah, all right.
continue?
Moving forward.
Do we have a motion?
Same motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to authorize the town manager to negotiate and enter into an agreement with the owner's project manager, Vertex Incorporated, for Phase 2 services. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So voted unanimously. Now we are on to other business.
So, and I have not discussed this ahead of time with Steve, so I'd like your input a little bit. Since we're going into contract negotiations, executing a contract, my suggestion is that we push out this meeting 4 weeks. So sometime around the 20th of, actually, do we have a date, Justin, that we talked about?
Yeah, I think
The 18th, I think.
Is that
Yes,
right?
the December 18th, yeah.
December 18th. That works.
So I think that'll give sufficient time to get us through, get the designer on board and have them attend that meeting, that first meeting, and then I would expect that they would have a couple weeks of work already completed at that point. So have a good update.
And then I would assume that would take us through the holidays to probably the,
Yeah, I think at that point we, then revisit our meeting cadence again.
yeah,
Certainly get us through Christmas and New Year's and
right.
holidays, and at what point in January do we want to meet again?
I would think we
I
would-
think we can base that on what milestone the designer will be at
Sure.
to set that date.
Do you anticipate January, February being once a week or once every other week? Or
I don't see January and February being, well, I don't see more than one in January.
okay,
February, we might have two. Then make sure that we're well prepared for special town meeting.
Mhm.
Because most of their deliverables are going to be due from February 15th to March 15th, right, Steve? That was
Yep.
their schedule. That was the schedule that we laid out.
Yep.
So there may be some fair amount of work during that period in
Mhm.
case we have to revisit anything. So.
Wasn't there an approval letter we were waiting for from the state too?
Yeah, we don't expect to see that
It's until next year, right?
We may have it by the 18th,
Right.
but it's in that neighborhood,
Okay.
December. So, but yeah, so we'll have to get into construction management, procurement, and all that stuff. So, and I think our target for that was second week of January,
Yep.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
that's-
Hopefully
So-
sooner, but yes.
So yeah, so you're right, to your point, so there might be extra meetings in there for interviews.
Good.
You're right.
okay.
The only other item I had this evening was, so DPW director, he's not here this evening, had something else to do, but he had a thought to have some of our meetings at the South Street location at some point. Again, challenges with that are certainly the weather, winter operations, so, but I thought it was a pretty good idea.
Mhm.
And using it, I think it's a good way to maybe it's a good way that the residents can see another view of those buildings, because we can pick multiple areas in those buildings to have the meetings.
Sure.
Then, it's also, showing the staff that we support this and
Mhm.
well, so I thought that was a great idea. that
That's a really good
We
idea.
could revisit.
Just even using some of the common spaces that the
Yeah.
current employees are
Yep.
using. And,
Yep. Right,
Exactly.
Yeah, so I know you've had roundtables there, there's been other meetings there and stuff like that, so
We did,
it might be a good spot.
yeah. It was, but we were set up in in the highway barn, like in the
Mhm.
bay, like the
Right.
garage bay, so.
That would be a little cold.
I think
Yes.
we
But-
were there and it was like 100 degrees and it was so hot. We
Yeah.
had a million fans going and it was ridiculous. So I might as well get there in freezing cold too.
There are better heated spaces in there we could pick.
We have a
But-
water and sewer building as well.
Yeah, the water sewer building, the water and sewer building has a pretty good sized room for that's much larger than this space actually, and, there is a break room at the
Yeah.
highway garage we could use, or could do it in the maintenance garage or whatever, so.
Right there with the parks.
Yep.
Parks.
Has
Yeah,
tables.
Parks we could do it at the Parks lunch table.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, sure. So that was the only other thing for thought.
Yeah, good
that I
idea.
had. But, and I didn't have the thought, it was Tim's thought, so.
Good thought.
How's that for you, Mark, logistically?
Fine.
Okay. Cool. Because there would be no point if we can't have it televised.
Right,
Yeah.
right. We're not live anyway, so it makes it easy for you.
Right, right.
So,
Okay, very good. Anybody have anything else? No? All right, that was fairly simple tonight. Item number 9, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
A motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.